An imaginary friend, a vision, or a curse. Just like everything else in Blue Lock, Bachira's monster is nothing if not ever evolving. I'm Faye and you're watching Tiny Wave TV. So why are we talking about Bachira's monster in the first place? Is it because he's my favorite character and I made it pretty obvious in my other Blue Lock video? No, of course not. Just because of that. The storyline of Bachira and the monster is the most well-developed storyline in Blue Lock Season 1 after Isagi's, because it's the MC. Duh. Of course it's important in relation to the main story, but on its own too, it's beautifully done. The show goes slow with it, raising questions one at a time and answering them like so. The whole thing unwraps intricately. Okay, I can go on forever because I love a good development, so let's just start. The monster inside often refers to someone's dark side. We soon realize that with Bachira, that's not the case, but this image and the wording creates an air of intrigue. We want to know more about this monster, just like Isagi does. First thing that got into my mind was, is it his intuition? Because Bachira said, when I play, I listen to the monster and that's it. And the way he appeared in the first selection, first of all, he's sleeping on the floor, sucking his thumb like a baby. Then he starts with the beast-like moves. There's something primitive about him, like he runs on instinct and does what feels right. So is the monster a metaphor for his instincts? Well, I thought of that, but then I changed my mind. You can't do what Bachira does on instinct alone. We hear the words inspiration and idea when he's around. Remember him giving Nagi an idea of what to do by passing the ball? Or he does something, then he goes, oh, it worked. Like he's already pictured what he's gonna do in his mind. So I came to think that he's just very smart. His mind processes things really fast, and most people find it difficult to keep up with him, which takes us to the origin of the monster and why it came to be. The monster is supposed to fill in for that somebody who can keep up with Bachira and feel the joy of soccer the way he does. His mom calls it an imaginary friend, but little Meguro knows that it's not enough. He wants actual real-life friends. So the monster is more so the hope of having that friend who's capable of understanding him. Bachira's mom brings up another important thing, one's own inner voice. She warns that it can easily be muddled and forgotten. But is the voice of the monster in fact Bachira's inner voice, or is it the voice of his hopes and fears? Bachira found Isagi and he was an incarnation of the monster. But Rin coming into the picture brought up some real issues for Bachira to face. When he first mentions the monster to Rin, Bachira calls it a vision of how he wants to play soccer. And how he wants to play soccer, according to Rin, is to find someone because he's afraid of fighting alone. What's better to hold someone back than their own fears? You don't have something, you're afraid you won't ever have it. You got something, you're afraid of losing it. But that's only one side of the problem. Isn't this vision also an expectation? Something Bachira projects to the outside world that ends up limiting his opportunities for growth. That's how the vision becomes the curse. Bachira's vision failed him when he realized all he wants is playing soccer with friends, and friends play only for themselves and don't hesitate to leave him behind. The precious opportunity to be around people that actually get him could easily be taken away. Realizing that, Bachira gets desperate not to let it happen. Questions like, what else am I supposed to want? What bit of ego am I missing? What do I need to catch up to Isagi and Rin? What should I do to have them acknowledge me? All of these show him how devoid of his own self he has become. So this desperate situation starts separating the cluster of hopes, fears, expectations, the mindset that is the monster from his true inner voice. When he identifies the monster as a curse, Bachira now has to fight back against that outdated part of himself, something that did help him at some point in his life, but now has become an obstacle in the way of his growth. So he brings back to life his solitary soccer, remembering he doesn't need anyone to enjoy it. Even though he finds it sad, he makes peace with the fact that he might end up never being understood. Bachira's story gave us a fresh and necessary outlook on friendship and any ships. But more importantly, it was about having a healthy relationship with oneself. When you're truly independent, you connect with others from a place of confidence, not the kind of need and attachment that only brings you anxiety. Then joy comes in, just like Bachira said. It was a step toward becoming more mature for him, and Isagi noticed it too. So that's about it. Let me know what you think, and see you next time.